The Trayvon Martin case down in Florida has certainly put under the microscope self-defense laws as well as some community policing organizations, neighborhood crime watches, those kinds of things. Carol Bush joins us from the Crime Commission. Carol, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Your organization obviously helped set up neighborhood crime watches here in Tulsa. We've been doing this for a long time and really without any type of problem. How long have neighborhood watches been in effect here?
Well, our program is called the Alert Neighbor Program, and that is actually ours. It's copyrighted and trademarked, specifically designed to the Tulsa area, and we started implementing that in 1980.
Yeah, and so have there been any major incidents, anything out of the ordinary that you guys have seen?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm very proud of our program and our volunteers. We go through a lot of training. I mean, that's what we do, is go into those neighborhoods and train them. We have a manual that we created, and we really work closely with the law enforcement agency in whichever jurisdiction we're in to make sure that we all understand, you know, what the rules are and the policies and what you can and cannot do, you know, from a citizen's point of view.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that, because when people sign up, it's just not, here's a couple signs, you're on your own. How much training is there? It's fairly extensive.
Yes, it is. The initial call, the first meeting is about an hour long. We try to bring the beat officer with us, and that is just getting your neighborhood together and kind of getting organized, setting up what I call a strategic plan around public safety in your area. That also involves what you can do as a person to stay safe, what you can do within your home, and then what can you all do collectively within your neighborhood. And then we follow up with them. We stay on top of it. Then they've got to go implement the plan. But we just don't leave them hanging. We do follow up with them and say, okay, how did this work? Do we need to try something different? You know, are you all being safe? Have you had any incidents? And really try to monitor it and provide resources for them to do the job.
And really this, when done right, it acts as a very positive tool for police, because police can't be everywhere, and so this is really just neighbors looking out after other neighbors.
Absolutely. It's creating that nosy neighbor. We call her Mrs. Kravitz for those of us that are my generation and bewitched. But yes, matter of fact, the police will say those neighborhoods that really do it right, really get organized and have that line of communication with them, they can't do it without them. What we create is the extra eyes and ears on the streets for the police. We train them to observe and report what they see. We're not creating a junior police agency.
Academy or anything like that, sure.
No, there's a whole, if you want to do that, become a reserve officer. You know, there's lots of other venues for that. We are trying to safely engage citizens in what we used to call community policing, and that is building that relationship with law enforcement and enhancing those efforts.
Do you find that when neighborhoods and neighbors get together and they create these organizations, that crime tends to go down in those neighborhoods?
Oh, absolutely. The initial, usually they don't call us until something bad happens.
Right.
I would love for them to call before that, but that's not the reality. So they come together, bad guys see that they're organized, and they kind of move on to somebody else who's not as well organized. The challenge is keeping those neighborhoods cohesive and continue to do that good work. So if they slack off, the bad guys will come back. But almost within 30, 60 days of really getting organized, you'll see crime go down to nothing.
And now, with the Trayvon Martin thing, has there been any organizations, any of your neighborhoods that are now concerned about liability that they may face and that kind of thing?
Well, you know, the Alert Neighbor Program is very broad, not only to Tulsa City, but the surrounding areas around us. The next step up from our Alert Neighbor Program is what we call the Citizens Alert Patrol. They go through more training, and they are the ones that actually patrol their neighborhoods with the magnets on their cars. Right. We've got about 75 neighborhoods who are active right now patrolling their neighborhoods. We have always, our policy has always been since 1990 when we started this program, that even if you have your carry and concealed weapon, you are not to carry a weapon while you're patrolling your neighborhood. We pound that into them. The training is done by the police department, and it is because of the liability issue. So the episode in Florida, the tragedy that's happened down there, what that's caused our neighborhoods to do is to remind the volunteers who've been through our training of what our policies are and the good that they have done without having to have that weapon or use of force, and how they have been safe and how effective they have been. Last summer, my Midtown group that was patrolling helped the burglary division of the police department catch 3 burglary rings. because they were safely observing what was happening, taking those pictures, getting them to the police department, feeding them the information, and those arrests were made.
Yeah. So when done right, it can work.
It
does
works
work.
well, yes.
All right, Carol Bush, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.